All right, so welcome to this first video in discovering the next leader. I am so excited to have you here, and I want to remember, stay tuned through this whole course, because not only am I going to give you the what in this video, I'm going to give you the how to implement this course later on in these videos and really, once again, help take your business to the next level. So before we get going, take a minute, download the form on this course. I'll give you a minute to do that, and I'll come back. All right, so great. Now you have the checklist downloaded. Let's dive in. You see, in the previous video, we talked about one of the biggest mistakes we make in the trades is taking our top producer and making that person our leader. But there's so many other qualities that comes to creating a great leader, because leadership is influence. And so the first thing I want to talk about is positivity. I know you're probably thinking, Dan, that is so simple. Like, really? Positivity? But if leadership's influence, think about this. You take a negative person and put them in a leadership role, what happens to the rest of your team? They all become negative. So it is a very good quality. We're looking for somebody who's positive. The next thing we're looking for is somebody who is naturally growing and developing themselves. You see, we show up every day. We could be in a plumbing trade, electrical, HVAC, whatever it is. And naturally, we're going out and we're serving customers and we're learning better skills in the trades. I'm not talking about that. That's just what we do day to day. I'm talking about somebody who's maybe listening to podcasts between calls, or reading a book, or going to conferences, or educating themselves in a way that's benefiting the business, benefiting themselves, that's going to benefit the business. So we're looking for that person. The next thing is somebody who is going out of their way to promote teamwork. You know, as a top producer, you can become very self-focused. But whenever we're looking for the next leader, we want somebody who's naturally serving other people. Maybe they're coming in early or staying late to train up the next apprentice, or they're coming in on a weekend to help take a shift. We're looking for somebody like that who is taking those qualities to the next level, because if leadership's influence, we want that person to promote teamwork. It helps to make a better culture. The next one is self-motivated. Whenever you're building a leadership team, the last thing you want to have to do is tell everybody what to do. As you grow your business bigger and bigger, your job just gets harder unless you find the next leader and you train that next leader up. But in doing so, we want to find somebody who is self-motivated. Little things you can look for could be somebody who's coming in early, somebody who is maybe going to the gym and staying fit, somebody who is not having to be told what to do all the time. They're naturally just doing it. Like, we're looking for somebody who's upbeat and ready to go, self-motivated, self-starting. That's the person you're looking for in the next leader. Here's another quality: organized. Wow, is that a great quality when you're looking for the next leader in your business? Think about this. Somebody who already has an organized truck. Somebody who already has an organized desk. One thing I looked for in my home service business, I look for is, when I do an interview, I will take that person and then walk them out to their vehicle just so I can see how organized their own personal vehicle is. Because if they're going to treat their own personal vehicle bad, they're going to treat your stuff bad. So we're looking for somebody who is already organized. That's one thing that's very important. The next is our values. In a business, it's highly recommended that you have core values, because your core values really define your culture. But even if you don't have core values, naturally you have core values like integrity, probably hard work, teamwork, different things like that. And you want to find somebody in your business who already has values that are compatible to your values. That is so, so important. If you take somebody who is self-focused and your teamwork is your core value, it's not going to work out. If you take somebody who is dishonest and integrity or honesty is your core value, it's not going to work out whenever you promote them to the next level. So make sure that you're looking for that. Look for somebody who is taking, like, maybe they're in the midst of a problem. Like, Dan, man, I really have this upset customer I'm dealing with. Poor me, I can't believe this is happening. Instead of finding that person, why don't you look for somebody who says, Dan, look, I'm dealing with this upset customer, but this is an opportunity to earn a customer for life. Here's what I think we should do. And he or she actually gives solutions to overcoming this problem they're dealing with. It could be anywhere, anything in your business, but you're looking for somebody like that. You're probably thinking, wow, like I don't know if I have anybody like that. And that's what I'm talking about. See, some of these qualities as we go through, we're looking for somebody who's doing like 6 or 7 out of the 10. That's the person we're going to take and start to mentor. So some of these things like looking for opportunities in the midst of problems, is something that you may have to mentor that person or coach that person to help them achieve that. The next one is humble. You know, like in leadership, it's good to be confident and humble, but we don't want to take anybody who's egotistical, because if we do that, it goes back to what we talked about earlier about just being self-focused. We want somebody who's willing to humble themselves down and realize that it's not all about them. You see, when you take a leadership role, you're taking a step back to make it all about the people around you. So it's important that we find that person who is humble. The next one we're looking for is taking ownership of your mistakes. Man, I know you're probably thinking, Dan, I always take ownership of my mistakes. You see, the buck stops here because you're the owner or the manager of your business, but we want to find other people who are like that. You see, there are so many excuses out there that we can be giving, or we could be a victim to so many different things. But if you have somebody who says, Dan, you know what? This result I take complete ownership of, and I'm willing to do these things to make sure it doesn't happen again. I mean, you would probably have to pick your jaw off the ground to like, wow, this person's serious. This person really is taking ownership. That is a quality you're looking for in a leader. And then last but not least is just overall leading by example. When I say that, I mean, you could really go back through every one of these qualities, but what I talk about is being on time and being prepared. You know, people undervalue that a lot of times. You know, maybe they're showing up to a training 5 minutes late. But Dan, they're a great producer. They do all these things, but they still show up 5 minutes late. They look a little bit sloppy. They're not communicating well with the office. They're doing a lot of different things that maybe we're letting them get away with because they are a top producer. But you got to remember, if you take that person and you promote them to a leadership role and you don't correct these things, he or she is setting the example for the rest of your team. You see, the bar gets set at the next leader in line. So you have to make sure that that leader is accomplishing these things. So hopefully you went through the checklist with me, you follow along. Just take some time, go through, think about the people on your team, put their name, put a date on there, go through and evaluate them. And if they're meeting that quality, check it off. And in the next few videos, we're going to talk about what do we do with this checklist? How do we take it to the next level? So I hope you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you there.